Welcome back to Exploring Information Formats. In this video, you will learn why information formats matter and how they influence what you find and use in your research. The main reason why it is important to understand the differences between types of information formats is that format can affect what you find and how you use it. Where and how something is published will affect who can access it. For example, do you need a password or login to access an article or website? Can you find a book in a bookstore or library? Do you have to pay to rent a film, or isn't it available in your area yet? Then, how the resource is organized can also affect who can find it and use the information it contains. For example, are the chapters of a book labeled in a way that makes it clear what they contain? Are the headings in an online article linked so that you can go directly to them? Is a website divided into pages on different topics, and is it searchable? And who created an information resource may impact how you evaluate its usefulness. For example, are you more or less likely to trust something created by a political lobbyist, or by a private company, or by a YouTube star? Finally, how an information resource is packaged can also influence its credibility. Think about the difference between the New York Times and the tabloid newspapers at the supermarket. The content is different, but the way these two types of newspapers look is also different. And think about medical information. Which one seems more trustworthy, a medical textbook or a medical website crammed with ads for health remedies? Now look at the information resources on this slide. The first one is a nonfiction graphic novel about genetics and DNA. The second is a National Geographic video about genetics. The third one is a textbook for an Introduction to Genetics course. You may have some ideas about how you would categorize and evaluate these information resources, and you could probably imagine many other types of formats that would also exist on this topic. A podcast on genetics, a Wikipedia entry, an article in a popular science magazine, and many more. At this point, it's not important to judge the credibility of these different kinds of sources, but it is important to start thinking about who they were created for, how they got created, and how people might access them. The first one is a paperback book available from Amazon and in bookstores. It's full of scientific information, but is intended for someone who is curious about genetics without having a great deal of prior knowledge about it. The National Geographic video has a similar audience, but it's also very short. It contains much less actual scientific information than the graphic novel, but it is available on YouTube to be accessed by anyone with an internet connection. The third one is written for college students who already have a background in science, if not genetics. It is available through academic publishers and can be ordered by college bookstores, but you probably won't find it at your local bookstore or at the public library. It is much more technical in language and style. All three are in English, so only English speakers could use them without a translator. Another thing to notice is that the first one has a single author. The second one has multiple people participating in filming and production, and the third one has many expert authors contributing to it. The first one likely had a single editor review the manuscript before publication. The second one was likely reviewed only by National Geographic's own production team, and the third one likely went through a fairly rigorous editorial process as it was being prepared. These are the kinds of things you will want to think about as you examine the differences between information formats.